Hi everyone, and thank you so very much for the opportunity to work together with you all in this way. Alright, let's begin here by taking a moment to notice your body language. So are your arms, legs more inward, more outward? Is your spine more inward? Is it more upright? And noticing also any areas of tension, pain, discomfort of any sorts. And now finding a pose that I like to think of, and I'm stealing this from Amy Cuddy's TED Talk, Superman, Wonder Woman. And that could look like propping an ankle over one knee and putting your hands in your hips, propping your feet up on the table, hands behind your head. If you haven't stood up or moved around in the last while, you've been sitting here listening for a certain length of time now, stand up, find your hands on your hips, and begin to just really find this posture embodied, commit to it for at least 2 minutes and or the length of this entire video if you really want to go for gold. Alright, so I'm going to dive in. I'm going to give you an answer about marketing and promotions that's really rare. This comes from the understanding of observing, of studying, of listening to the thing that I recommend the most, studying the greats, I think is your biggest opportunity to study marketing. Look at how all the others who have found success either in your field or in any other related field, what have they done? Not what are they telling you they're doing. In addition to that, that can be helpful, but also in addition to that, what is it they're doing? So watch, how do they promote? How do they market? What is it that drew you to them or that makes you think that they're a great in their field? So my answer is that there is no answer. So this comes from really a place of understanding the life sciences in a very deep way, from having taught Breakthrough for years and retiring, from currently teaching Freefall 1, Freefall 2, training other Freefall instructors right now. And the opportunity to find our own inner expert here is perhaps the most valuable one that I can offer you. So finding what works for you, and that means what's your passion? Because if work is work, then it's not going to work. So what's your passion? How can you implement that with, that attitude of playfulness? Can you come to your work from that sense of, how can I have more fun today? So that's a really important question to ask right now. How can I have more fun in my marketing and my promotions? It's energy work, plain and simple. If that's how you approach it, people are going to be attracted to that. People aren't going to be attracted to like, oh, I hate doing this, or how am I ever going to do this? So if there's one thing I know for sure, it's that Freefall is the best business building course I've ever taken, and we don't talk for a second about business in it. So we don't talk about business, and yet business is built after taking this course. Why? Well, primarily because we see people open up their areas of their body, letting go of all those previous patterns that just are old and not serving and have been feeding that low self-esteem or that belief system, I deserve what I've been getting, which is really what all of our marketing and promotion tools and those self-help books are often promoting in those areas of the bookstore. Instead, it's looking for, who are you? What is your authentic self, and how can you best express that? So when you take off those old inhibitions, it creates an openness. And we're talking about the exact same principles here. So how can you make work more fun for you and have it not be work? And then that's also going to allow you to do perhaps one of the most important things that there is, and that's persistence. So that means persisting through all the crap, all the criticism, the rejection, the assholes. The pressure is the acronym for that. And I totally stole that as well from another TED Talk. But the idea here is persisting so that you can find what works and what doesn't for you. And that's going to change. The best piece of advice I can give on this is to continue to step outside of your comfort zone. This is where I get my best results, absolutely. So it might sound a bit funny, but I was so addicted to work that taking a day off was actually horrifying and terrifying to me many, many years ago. Took a day off and pushed myself to do that, went beyond my comfort zone, and what do you know it, for the next year, every time I took a day or two off, that's when I got students registering for courses without fail. And I learned that if I don't continue to push myself in all areas of my life, not just at work, but in my personal life, at home, in how I relate to people, then I don't come across as authentic. And how could you attract people unless you're coming across as who you are? Because people can sense that. And we all know this because, well, this is the field that we excel in. So now it's just upping that game to another level. Finding those areas of marketing and promoting that are you and embodying them for yourself and continuing to have that change and grow with you as you in turn dynamically evolve. So this is the most common mistake that I see people make in marketing, in promotions, in living their lives. Because again, how we do one thing is how we do every single thing. Noticing where in your life where you've thought, and this could be past or it could be happening right now, where you've thought, if I just do this one thing, that'll be the magic ticket. I just have to try this new supplement to get more energy. I've got to rededicate to working out again. Must do more stretching. Whatever those things are, and it's not bad to have goals by any stretch of the imagination, but it does if we elevate them to the point that we become in fantasy of this will be my one magic ticket out of here. It's a really common fantasy that you can see in relationships. So you've seen this in the society at large, where people will fantasize about finding the magic knight in shining armor to rescue them. Now, where are you doing that in business? Where is it that you've been relying on that one thing to try to get results? Whether it is you think it'll work or you won't, it won't. It's about finding that understanding within yourself about the place that you're coming from now, around this fantasy of the one. So in terms of marketing and promotions, you can also have this fantasy. I just need to have a better flyer. I need to have a new social media campaign. I need to evolve a new strategy. Hey, whatever that is, again, we're continuing often to throw the baby out with the bathwater because we've lacked in persistence of developing our past ideas, and we're trying to recreate a wheel that often doesn't need to be recreated. Because it's not about what you do, it's about the place that you're coming from. So again, it boils down to there is no recipe. What I will say though is I definitely work with my coordinators wherever I am, locally, globally, to continue to modify what's pushing me out of my comfort zone and committing to evolving that with a way that also works for what they think. Because you need to also work with your coordinators coming from the same perspective and helping them to come to the awareness of what's the place they're coming from. Why do they want this course? What is it they're hoping to get out of it? Is this to support their matrix? Is this to support themselves in taking the course? What's their thing? What's their fantasy about having this course be really successful? These are really great questions that you can sit down and talk to your coordinators about to help tailor how you're going to best market and promote your course. Because when your coordinators are coming from that same place of passion, of persistence, of just doing the work, because there is no magic pill, it's just literally about doing it and having some fun with it along the way, and you can see in turn the results that come when you have your coordinators on board in that way. When I first began to do the work that I do, I had such tremendous social anxiety. I couldn't make eye contact, whether it was with someone that I knew really well or whether it was with like the local cashier at the drugstore. I couldn't public speak. That was terrifying. Never mind recording myself and putting it out there on social media for other people to hit replay over and over potentially on. All of that was truly horrifying. And what I knew for sure is that if I didn't do the things that scared me, I wouldn't ever get to where I wanted to be. So I'm stealing this line from Amy Cuddy, the TED Talk that she does, and she put it just so eloquently I had to use it, around fake it till you become it. So this power pose that you've been adopting for the last while, whether you played with it for a couple minutes or several minutes, is really all about simply stepping into becoming and coming from this place of power, or this place of lower stress, or this place of less judgment around risk and what that really means in terms of putting yourself out there. All for you to find this place of deeper authenticity. In Free Fall, we study the effects of body language, and we see when we release those old armoring patterns that what opens up simply transforms into opportunity for you to engage with your world in a whole new way. So this is the understanding that I've garnered from years of studying in terms of myself for the last several decades, and in terms of seeing other people transform. So I really invite you to, right now, commit to finding 3 new things that are in line with your passions, your values, and would be fun for you to play with in marketing and promotions. Okay? So take a moment, you can press pause on this if you like, and write those down. Okay? And when you've got your 3 good to go, just take a moment to, again, find that power pose if you've come out of it, and sit here with these goals for the next 2 minutes in this posture and see if that changes your ideas on how you can effectively act on that. All right, everyone, it has been a slice. Thank you so much. I love working with people in this way. It's my favorite way to work. And I look forward to our paths crossing again soon someday. Bye for now.